This war has spared no one, uprooting the country's most vulnerable, struggling to get through each day of uncertainty and fear. The school in Kassala is now a shelter for displaced people with disabilities. Here they're relatively safe, but forced out of the homes built around their needs. 3 million children in Sudan are now displaced, and amongst them are those who need extra care. It's the largest child displaced population in the world, and the UN's migration agency says over 2.1 million are under the age of 5. Aida's 2 young daughters are unable to walk or talk. She says before the war they were seeing doctors and physiotherapists. After war broke out, all of that stopped. The shelter is full of damaged prosthetics and wheelchairs. Insaf's broken wheelchair is a reminder of how and why they fled Khartoum. I can't run, so when the shell fell on our home, I rushed to use my wheelchair and it broke, she says. My mother had no choice but to fix it with rope from the bed. Their mothers bear the brunt of upheaval, trying to care for them through it all. I can't even tell you how much we've been impacted, says Ni'mat. Even within the family, there's been damage. These are the lucky ones. Less than 40% of 32,000 registered disabled residents of Khartoum state have managed to escape the violence. And those who've made it here are still working through the scars. A group initiative by Kassala's secondary school students is providing them with psychosocial support. Volunteering has such vital importance. It's something we want to do and see it as the least we can do, says Tasneem. Their city is now housing thousands of displaced people. And at the foot of the mountain is another shelter.
This school is also a sanctuary for some of the country's most vulnerable, orphaned children, who've had to be evacuated not once, but twice since the start of this war.
All of these children come from care homes in besieged areas. Those from the capital's Al Maygoma orphanage fled to safety and were trapped by violence again when the Rapid Support Forces advanced on their new home. Videos of them crying as the siege was underway was shared as a call for help, with a message from a resident turned caretaker expressing their abandonment.
The day I made the appeal, children died. Children who needed blood transfusions, who had severe malnutrition, and their carers had fled the home. The situation was really severe.
253 young orphans were evacuated here by UNICEF. 5 of them have died since, and 15 have been adopted. The rest of them fill the rooms of this building. Infants with no beds and a few donated mattresses. The remaining vulnerable children were brought here by local volunteers, now sleeping under tents outside. Already born into a tough life, now facing the worst of war. Yusra al-Baghir, Sky News, Kassala.